Good day, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you guys so much for being with us here today. My name is Trav, and we have Dimitri and Sin today. And we are back for round 2 of our first AMA with the Volt Inu community. Dimitri, I want to say hello to you first. Welcome. How are you? How's your day? How are you feeling?
I'm good. Been busy all day, working with the development team as well, posting updates about what we're going to do this week. We've got some news for Volt as well.
And some big news indeed, my friend. So yes, I know firsthand that you've been super busy, but you're here nevertheless and ready to get at it. I am well. Also been a grind, but let me tell you, one of the things that we've been talking about for a while at Tectum is that we are in the middle of a comeback. And you know what? I can't even say that anymore because we're no longer in the middle of the comeback. We are in full-fledged comeback mode. And you guys are about to hear all about it today. Sin, welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself one more time to the community here? Let us know who you are and what you do, and let's get into it.
So Sin, been investing since about 2019. Been with Vote since the early part of 22. Nothing special about me, man. Just an investor looking to really rip the soul out of this crypto market for this to go around. This will be my second bull run. Just excited, man, and looking forward to having a better life for me and my family. But excited about what Vote is about to unveil to the rest of the world that we've been known that it's going to do the last 4 years, man.
Oh my goodness, Sin, thank you so much for taking the time, my friend. And for anyone who's with us now, we're already pushing 60, 70 people in our live stream, and we've been chatting for 2.5 minutes, not even. It's our last AMA taught us anything, is that the Volt community shows up. So I just want to personally thank everyone here from the Volt community for just stepping up, for being a part of the conversation, for being a part of the mission that us at Tectum and the Volt team has been trying to communicate to the rest of the world, has been trying to make happen. It's just such a pleasure to be able to connect with awesome people like you. And then, of course, to the Tectum community, you guys have been with us since day one. We've been building up and down for years. And finally, we are at a point where we can get excited about a lot of massive updates here. So speaking about updates, I say let's just jump right into it. So guys, the big thing that is exciting to talk about today, the first point, because there are several of them, is the fact that Volt is officially being integrated into the SoftNode ecosystem. Dimitri, do you want to give us a little bit of a rundown on kind of what exactly this entails?
Absolutely. So let's begin with the very first thing. So when we got connected to Volt a few weeks ago, like a month ago, there were talks about, hey guys, you have a Volt token and we want to introduce it to our wallet. So we managed to do this successfully. So the Volt token is already available in our wallet. And then we introduced SoftNode to Volt. And I understand as Volt is kind of a meme coin, right? The concept of SoftNodes was something difficult to explain. And, we managed to explain it successfully. And practically SoftNode allows people to make their crypto spendable. It allows to make transactions off-chain. It allows to handle those physical. Actually, I can show you right now, as I have stable internet connection. This SoftNode is basically a printed out crypto, and it actually allows you to transfer the right of ownership of that crypto to someone. So this is Bitcoin, and right now we introduce Volt SoftNodes. They're completely Volt branded with the Volt colors, Volt logo, everything, right? Different amounts of volts. So that thing should be ready around the beginning of next week, maybe mid next week. So I'm personally excited for this because that allows for both of us and Volt to push that, mass adoption that people are talking about. Volt has a massively active community, a massively active community. So I think it's a win-win situation for both us and Volt. So people that were, investing into Volt, they'll be able to actually give it to someone with zero fee on that chain. And if you're creative enough, let's say someone has a wedding birthday, you can actually print out the Volt SoftNode and give it to him. It can be this size, it can be A2, it can be two, 3 feet long if you're, creative enough. Anything, it actually
That-
opens up massive opportunities for both communities, if you like.
Okay, so first things first, we need to make one of those. We need to be like a 3 foot by 1.5 foot sized soft note and give that away as a prize. I think that'd be a blast. Now, so you hit on a couple of really important points there, Dimitri. First things first, Sin, congratulations on being a part of this. Congratulations on, all of this, on getting the Volt community here, in creating an opportunity for the Volt community that empowers them with the Volt token in a way that's seamless, free, and instant, which is absolutely incredible. Now, the first point that you brought up, Dimitri, that I really want to highlight is the fact that you can actually just hand over, like physically hand crypto from one person to another. It does not require being online. It does not require any transactions. You can actually literally print off a soft note bill and hand it to someone, and all they have to do is take that, punch in the codes, and that crypto will be essentially become theirs. So before we move on to the next part of this conversation, can you tell us kind of why that's such an awesome thing to be able to do, especially when it comes to mass adoption?
Of course, Trav. Well, first of all, it's off-chain, right? So you're able to pass it to anyone. Then, we spoke about how it is offline. Yes, okay, fine. We are developing the cold pay that we'll talk about later. But in a sense, if you pass this physical note from one person to another in the offline physical world, right? That soft note stays offline all the way until you actually accept it into your wallet. So if I passed it on to you, you don't even need to bring it onto your wallet, straight away. You can hold it for a year, 2 years, whatever. It just stays in your hands for how long you want to, or you can pass it to someone else. Accept you. So this is just that magical, crazy way that Alex came up with on explaining what is crypto to someone. So you can print out Bitcoin, right? Okay, fine. You're printing out that ownership of, how much is it? Of 1,000 Satoshi, right? But still, it's Bitcoin, it's crypto that you can print out, hand to someone, give to someone if you want, and then do whatever you want with it. So it's just beautiful, honestly.
Perfectly said. Honestly, you hit the main points that I was hoping that you would. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out to Alex Gusev, who is the CEO and founder of Tectum and all of its incredible technologies. And we're definitely hoping to get Alex here on one of our AMAs ASAP to be able to discuss all these new updates with you guys as well. So stay tuned for that. But then, so the one point I wanted to bring over to you there, Sin, is when we're talking about the actual functionality of a soft note, being able to print off a physical copy of the Volt token, for example, to be able to just hand it over to somebody else to give them said tokens. This when it comes to community building and adopting new members to the Volt community, how is something like this going to be an asset to that exact work that you guys are doing?
Well, the biggest thing, whenever I go in meetings or stuff that I'm actually bringing people into Vote, one of the things that I use is something tangible. Since we're having mass adoption, a lot of people still can't get over their head that something is just out in the space. They love tangible things. So a lot of times I would bring my Vote card, or sometime I would bring my Tangem with the Vote logo on the Tangem card. Something tangible for people to get to grab a hold to. It makes it more familiar. Because somebody was just asking the question is, if I showed them that let's say I wanted to buy some land and I wanted to actually let them know that I could use the soft note, what would make them believe that it was more real? And I brought up the fact that you guys had the soft note, and then I could actually give that to them. So when something is a little more tangible, it actually makes it more real. They know that the digital world is coming, but you're still bringing people on to it. So by you having something tangible, it just makes it more feasible for people. So it works well with that soft note. Yeah.
Love to hear it. And I remember from our previous conversations, Sin, you were talking about how in the part of the States where you're at, you actually have in-person meetups all the time with the other Volt community members, which is so cool. So that almost brings another element of power to this development, this integration, if you will. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that? When's your next in-person meeting planned for? Do you think that this is going to have some good some leverage? Is
You
that the word I'm
know,
looking for? It'll be helpful.
yeah. What happened? It kind of happened by mistake. Because a lot of people that I talk to don't really understand crypto. And then they always ask, "How did you, learn how to do wallets and all of this type of stuff?" And so instead of me trying to tell people over the phone, one guy asked me to come to his house, and there was probably about maybe 8 to 9 people. But here, the last was a couple of maybe a month or two ago. I got a couple. Taught them how to do some, and then they started talking to some of their family members, and they couldn't really understand, couldn't really get everything out, and so they asked if I would come by the house, and they didn't know that I had doing home meetings and stuff like that, and so it kind of grew into something. It's close to about 30 people there, that
Oh,
was excited, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's always saying they got to pay people for this. So people are kind of excited. And a lot of people want to get into crypto, but they don't have any hands on or nobody they could physically touch and say, "Hey, can you teach me this?" And so I just kind of, got there started, and they're looking to do another one. So it's just kind of going kind of wild right now.
incredible, incredible. So you are doing the work single-handedly for the crypto community to bring on mass adoption. You are providing that crucial educational component to brand new users who know nothing about crypto, and you're empowering them with the information that they need, whether it's for Volt or just Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever asset they choose. You are teaching them to fish, and I have a huge amount of respect for that here. So let's keep this conversation going there, gentlemen. So real quick, I'd love to take a moment, Sin, to send the mic your way and just talk to you a bit about any sort of updates that you guys have happening right now with the Volt community. Anything new that you wanted to share and talk about real quick?
Yeah, when we just got some news today that our dev has been over and overseas in another country making some connections, and we got word this morning that they have been working in exploring Seoul, making connections there with KBW 2025. We have a big AMA coming up next week with some more updates. We've gotten, since the last time we've talked, another gentleman by the name of Boss Fam put out the information about we've gotten more holders. So we went over 30,000 holders as of
Wow.
today. So at ETH, we had 10,848. So that's another 267 people on the ETH side. On the BNB was 13,282. And that's plus 422 extra on that side. And on Pole, we're at 5875. So we got another 41 holders on that side. So right now the holders are growing. And so we're just excited to see what it's going to do once we start hitting those tier ones. So people are actually finding out what's up with Vote, and they're jumping on board.
Wow, those are some impressive metrics, my friend. And that's been barely a month since we've spoken last. You have all of these
Yeah.
massive jumps and all of these different chains here. So congratulations for that. Dimitri, I saw you reacting to these drops here. I'd love to hear, how that hit on your end.
Insane, Trav, honestly. Well, first of all, that's insane for Sin, because he can actually memorize those numbers.
Yes. Respect, my friend.
Don't give me that much credit, man. I got little PowerPoints right in front of me.
And then second thing. Honestly, it's been like what, Trav, 2 or 3 weeks, right? Since the last time we spoke.
Yes.
That development is crazy. And then you mentioned KBW, right? The big, if I'm not mistaken. This is insane. Like that's a massive job. That's massive exposure for you guys. Like it's crazy. And I see your community in the chat. It's 5 p.m. EST, and people are already excited. People are joining the AMA. It's crazy. Like you guys are doing, you guys are definitely doing something right, something in the correct way.
Hey man, this is a blue chip in disguise, man. Don't let the meme coin face fool you, man. This is a blue chip in disguise. Trust me.
Yeah, I can tell.
that's one thing Dimitri and I were chatting about it after our last live stream is, yes, there's you guys declare yourselves a meme coin, but you've been around for 4 years, I think you said, if I remember that number correctly.
Yeah, it'd be 4 years, December the 19th, 2025. So yeah, we got
incredible
a couple of months. Yeah.
So you've been around for 4 years. Your devs have created actual utility for holders of Volt Inu. You are actually, onboarding new partnerships. Your team is active and connecting with other blue chip companies and blockchains, and you're consistently showing huge amount of growth week over week, month over month. So I'm still having a hard time really classifying you guys as a meme coin.
This is beyond the meme coin. I'm telling you, this is beyond the meme coin, because Trav, honestly, like saying as well, right, guys? Whenever someone mentions the meme coin, what do you think about? You think about quick money, rug pulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys
zero utility.
Yeah, don't even mention.
Hey, just remember. Just remember, my dev put out on a tweet that remember Bitcoin started out as a meme coin. So there you go.
Well, that's also true. No, like you didn't even just last for 4 years. You actually made impact in those 4 years of actually people trusting you, and you creating that entire community, as well as all those business networks all around the world. Well, even physical meetings in some cases.
100%. And we can see it right here, guys. The community is absolutely off the chain. It's dinner time. Do you guys not eat? What do your families think right now? You're spending all this time here with us. No. Let me dial back in.
Their families are open DMA.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get used to it, but the type of numbers we're talking about for this bull run is kind of blowing their mind. So they're still trying to wrap their heads around it.
Hey, and I gotta say, I mean, looking at the charts this morning, and we won't dive too much into this because I don't want this to be construed as financial advice by any means here. Things are looking optimistic. Things are looking indeed bullish, and maybe that's all I'll say about that. So, gentlemen, got huge updates from you there, Sin. Huge updates from Tectum as well. But speaking about updates, we've got one more update here that you kind of hinted at, Dimitri, at the beginning of our conversation here, and this is also something that it can be immediately practical for these in-person meetings. And when it comes to essentially bringing crypto to the streets, bringing Volt to the streets, this is going to make that so much easier. You can be having these meetings in your friend's basement with horrendous internet connection and still be able to transfer crypto from one person to the other. Dimitri, why don't you tell us a little bit about Cold Pay and what this is?
All right, Trav. So in one of your Trav Tectum TV episodes, right? I remember you already spoke about Cold Pay, and I think that what our team made is insane. So we introduced to T-Pos last week, right? But what we also figured out we can actually make offline transactions real with crypto as well, from phone to phone. So even if you do not have an internet connection whatsoever, right? Let's say you are in the basement, on the plane, in jail, God forbid. Hopefully not.
Paint
but
the
still,
picture.
Okay. Back
Hope
to
not.
the point. Hope not. So back to the point. So you can actually make offline transactions just by using Bluetooth connection. The way it works is relatively simple to understand, but difficult to figure out. So it just works with the Android and Apple non-accessible libraries in your phone. So it just makes a kind of a blockchain transaction on that side, and then once you have the internet connection back on, it just records back online. So this is it, and we practically made offline transactions possible. And Alex, our CEO, he's been testing that this week. We haven't yet rolled out the public APK because some things must be fixed before we do it. But what I can say is that our team already has the APK. Our team is already testing that, and things are looking very good, Trav. Very good.
100%. So just to kind of reiterate, so Cold Pay allows you to transfer crypto from one phone to another with zero internet connection.
Correct.
Can you be in airplane mode for this? Actually, I guess with airplane mode, it turns...
Yes. This is the way we're testing. So that
Okay.
video that Alex recorded. Okay, fine. We found out the mistake is that he wasn't in the airplane mode. So we're re-recording the video, if this is the word, in the airplane mode, just for that.
Incredible. Okay, so
and it's
everyone
super fast as well. It's much faster than NFC. I'm telling you this. It's much faster than NFC. Like you can see in the video, like later on in the video, he actually, like, the moment he taps in on the send function, make transaction function, the phone instantly detects the second phone via the Bluetooth network, and it just sent instantly.
Incredible. So neat to see. So for anyone, for some context, you can check out this post here on X. This is our CEO and founder, Alex Gusev, and he actually posted the video with an explanation in the actual post itself of a transaction happening with zero internet connection from one phone to the other here. So, like, amazing. And when it comes to security,
yeah, next level.
Huge, absolutely. And then kind of, I remember when this motto of Tectum kind of came to fruition here, that bringing crypto to the streets. I mean, now you have 3 different ways to actually transfer crypto, and none of them are actually.
This is the moment. So now it detects the second. It's not. It hasn't started the detection yet. So you see, he clicked on he tapped on the second phone to accept the payment. That's it. The payment's done.
Wow.
Literally, it's much faster than NFC, I say. Trav, do you remember the whole story with the code pay when it started?
I'm trying to remember now, because I know I had this conversation with Alex on an AMA, but maybe you could remind me.
The very first conversation about that I remember of was back in June or July.
Okay.
And the initial deadline was the end of this year.
Okay.
We just started Q4 of this year, so we are practically 3 yes we are 2 months. We are 2 months more advanced than we initially planned it, and we developed everything from July to October. That's like what in 3 months as well.
Amazing.
Like, that's insane, honestly. Like, our dev team is very underrated. Yes, they may take some time sometimes, right? But that's development.
100%. But I remember actually from I think the very first conversation that I had with Alex, and it was a live stream. It was an AMA between Alex and I, and this was one of the core principles that he had when it comes to actually building a project, when it comes to building technology, is that it's more important for him, and rightfully so, to build a product that's safe, secure, and functions at a high level, even if it takes more time, as opposed to just pumping things out onto the market without doing your due diligence to ensure safety, to ensure security. And the reason behind that is because, especially with Tectum, when you're trying to bring on mass adoption, you are responsible for your community's money. And if anything happens at the expense of your laziness, your rushingness, I don't even know if it's a word, but it is now. You heard it here today, folks. That's going to be on you, and that's going to be unacceptable here. So, huge fan of that. That's a massive accomplishment. And again, at the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about Tectum's having a comeback. If that doesn't, add fuel to that fire, I'm not quite sure what does.
Trav, I was just thinking, do you want another use case for cold pay?
I would love to.
Political unrest. When something bad happens within a country, the very first thing that gets shut down is internet, correct? And you still got to, you still got to buy bread, you still got to buy your coffee. So this is the very best example you can think of for using cold pay in those, politically less stable countries. That
makes a ton of sense.
To the streets, yes, exactly.
Wow, I never even considered that. If the internet goes down and you still need to actually buy some bread, buy some whatever it is that you might need.
Do you remember there was the issue with Microsoft last year, was it? When they what was it? Crown something update. And basically you couldn't pay with your card anywhere. I was in Dubai back then, so it was definitely last year. So I was in Dubai back then, and because that Microsoft update, broke something, people couldn't make card payments whatsoever. It was non-accessible. You only had to use your cash, and some ATMs were down as well. So it's not just political unrest; it's also like just how internet proof software.
Yeah, finances. Sorry, Sin, please go ahead. I'd love to hear your take on all of this.
Quick question, because I had somebody ask me this question right before we got on here. So whenever you're doing this with somebody, they have to have the app downloaded and they have to have an ID with the soft note Tectum,
Yes.
the app, correct? Okay.
Yes.
And so the question was, what makes it more feasible, or what makes it more adaptive to the masses? And that's where you guys created the soft note, the paper bill, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. And they have to agree. They have to agree to download and take this on, but it's sort of like a much easier way than trying to get them to actually have a wallet and all of this type of stuff. This makes it more it's just like easier. Okay.
Even though it's still crypto, right? It's still a crypto wallet. Well, Trav, you remember we are redesigning the wallet.
Yes.
We are making it as simple as possible. So there's like no more, all those difficult crypto complications, all those difficult, how to use soft notes correctly, this and that. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. There's like literally 2 or 3 tabs. That's it. And then you have the rest,
correct.
Additional functions. Yeah. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible, because when we did the little survey in the Global South about the app, the very thing in common that came out from the survey was that our app is too complicated, and we were like, okay, so this is crypto, and so crypto is complicated. Let's be honest, crypto is complicated.
Crypto is complicated.
Yes, crypto is complicated still. So this is why we try to redesign our soft note wallet app in the way that banks work. So all you need is literally like accept function 1, send function 2, and then access your funds, your history, wherever. So it's like 4 or 5 functions, all you need. And this is the way new soft note app is going to work. It's very simple.
That's brilliant. And I remember this was part of our conversation last month, 2 or 3 weeks ago now, is the cruxes for mass adoption, and one of them was UI UX. And I think so. Of course, before I dive to the next tangent here, having that seamless, extremely simple and basic UI UX is 100% necessary to onboard a completely crypto naive individual who knows nothing about crypto. And the cool thing about SoftNote is you can lead with the financial transaction. You can be like, here's $100 in Bitcoin. You want me to teach you how to actually take this and use it? Let's download the SoftNote app. So I think it just makes it more enticing. It motivates them to want to learn, because if they learn, this $100 in Bitcoin will be theirs to use as they would like. And as soon as they get it onto their SoftNote app, we've just made 3 seamless ways to be able to actually use that in a free and instant way. We have the cold pay, we have the SoftNote transfers, and then we have the EPOS now, which the goal for that, and maybe Dimitri, if you're interested, you could speak a little bit more on this, is to actually develop that seamless transaction between merchant and person who buys stuff from merchants, consumer. There we go. Thank you. So yes, like the infrastructure is here. The infrastructure is starting to be disseminated amongst the world, and the missing link with all of this was, now how do you put this into the hands of people who can benefit from it, who don't know anything about crypto? And I think this is a brilliant way to adopt that. And I appreciate that we're talking to you about this, Sin, because you're one of those people who are out there on a daily basis trying to make that happen. So now that we've kind of, we've shown what cold pay looks like, we've shown how fast it is and how efficiently it works. What are your thoughts on that, especially in terms of onboarding brand new users to the crypto world? How might something like that benefit you guys?
Well, the biggest thing is when people start to learn something, you got to be able to keep their excitement. whenever you have to go through too many steps, you lose people. And so that's one of the things that I've had to do is try to make it more interesting. We started people trying to figure out, how do I buy vote, because I can't buy it on all the exchanges. We came out with another deal where it's another platform that makes it easier. But if you don't have something that can grab people's attention right away, right now everything is on convenience. That's why you have the tangems and the wallets and stuff on the phones that are cold storage, because everybody's more like convenience. Yeah, you still want everything to be locked down, right? You still want people to be safe, but it's still got to be the convenience, because that's the way the world is moving. Everything has got to be is speed. If you can't do it fast, then you're gonna lose people, and then you might have missed out on an opportunity.
That's a
Beautifully
very good
said.
point that Sin is touching, because Travis, remember that narrative that we are the fastest blockchain, right? We are still the fastest, I believe. But some of the community members noticed that we stopped, putting that motor everywhere and on everything that we do. And people kept on asking me, hey, are you not the fastest anymore? Are you not this and that? I'm like, guys, like, why do you care about that speed so much? What are you actually going to be able to notice the difference between the 1.3 mil and let's say, I don't know, 200k? No, you won't.
Right.
This is all about the ecosystem, how easy it is, how seamless it is, right? Okay, it just, people often go to different blockchains because of the speeds, because of this and that, But in reality, what I believe people should be choosing something very convenient for them. I'm not saying that we are the most convenient, we are the most complex, complete system. No, we're probably not. But Vault community, what Vault community actually shows us is that as far as you have enough people, as far as all of them believe in the same idea, that's what builds the entire ecosystem. This is the community. Community makes this system doable, practical.
I love that. Really well said. And one other point about the 3.5 million TPS here is that that's mostly a measure of volume, not necessarily, perhaps speed as well, but so that's only going to really make a difference once we're well down the path towards mass adoption. Once we have actually millions of transactions being made every second, which is absolutely wild.
A few months ago, I've read a post from one of the followers. Let's be honest, it was a negative post saying that he saw a blockchain transactions and he saw that one transaction of, can't even remember the amount, took 1 second. So he was saying that our speed is like 1 TPS. I'm like, dude, it's one transaction. Like, how? This is what people often misunderstand, is that to actually test the speeds, to see how scalable the network is, you actually need people, you actually need transactions. And 200k or 3.5 mil, 1.3 mil doesn't matter. As far as you are scalable enough to cater everyone, you're good enough.
I love that. Yeah, really important distinction here.
Your TPS is faster than HBARs. No, I was just saying that your TPS is faster than HBAR, so that's got to be an accomplishment in itself. So.
Yeah, and HBAR is building for the long haul as well. This is not a live stream about HBAR, but what is their transaction or their speed? I'm curious. Do you know offhand?
I think this is a 1.3 million TPS or something like that.
Okay, understood. Yeah, no, that's respect for sure. And that's
no digging against HBAR.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. To be honest, I don't know much about them. I know that they're in a similar category as XRP, I believe. I'm not quite sure 100%, but I know there's a lot of stellar builders working for that blockchain. And they have a huge backing and a huge following as well here. So you reminded me of one point here that Alex made in the past as well. And the idea isn't to compete with other chains or other let's see here. Yeah, exactly. Web2 projects. It's to build with them. It's to build an ecosystem where everyone's technology kind of enhances everybody else here. And that's something I've really respected along the way here.
I know the exact words of Vadex you're looking for, because he kept on saying this. He always says that we're not trying to rework the system. We're not trying to revolutionize. We're only trying to evolutionize the system. We're only trying to make it more
Evolution,
advanced
yes.
and more convenient. It's about evolution, not
So
revolution.
a statement we always use with Vote is we're not here to compete with the space. We're here to complete the space. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I love that. Right, it's serendipitous that we are all here together today, and this partnership has come to fruition here. I feel like our ideologies are very much aligned here. So, I'm just gonna take a quick moment here. We've been chatting for about 40 minutes already, there, friends, which is excuse me, please. My kombucha is making a return here. I apologize. We've been talking about 40 minutes here already, and I just want to take a moment and thank all of our viewers who are with us right now. We have almost 600 people hanging out with us at the moment. So I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to hang out with us while we chat about the Tectum and Volt partnership. And so far, we have covered some incredible updates, such as bringing the Volt token to the soft node ecosystem. We've spoken about the brand new cold pay advancements, which are just hitting X as we speak. And then we've covered up the EPOS launch, which we covered our last AMA. And then we spoke about some incredible ecosystem updates from the Volt ecosystem as well. I just said the word ecosystem way too many times, so I'm going to stop that right now. So I'd like to move the conversation forward a little bit here. I want to maybe ask you there, Sid. After our last AMA, I'm curious to kind of get a finger on the pulse of what your community's reaction was, and if they had any questions, any concerns that we could answer in the remaining 20 minutes of our call here.
Yeah, so I'll tell you how the reaction, and I have a question myself because I downloaded the app, looked into some stuff, and had some questions. But I mean, everybody's had something good to say. No bad blood. I mean, it's been exciting. And I think the more that we dug into Tectum and what y'all did with Soft Note, the app, I didn't realize when we was talking that you guys had an app until I saw the post that came out a couple of days after we met on the live, and noticed that it was on the Play Store. I mean, that's been the biggest thing, is how can you get your crypto out in the real world and pay for a house or pay for merchants and stuff like that. And we've had certain instances where we had like voted pay certain stuff like that. But your guys, what happened is I think it was one of the members put out that Altcoin Daily spoke about your project a year ago and how much you guys enhanced it. So it made, everybody, follows Altcoin Daily, but it just kind of made it more real since he has a bigger following. And it was like, okay, wait a minute, let's kind of dig into this a little more. It's just top notch. I think it's going to be revolutionary because now you're saying that you can do it even if you're on airplane mode, phone to phone. I mean, it just makes it that much more bullish. And especially, like I said, I'm excited about the paper bill because, like I said, handing somebody that more tangible, they can touch it, they can feel it in their hand. I mean, that to me is that's bullish.
I'm telling you,
but I had
the paper.
Go ahead.
The paper bill is just a physical how it looks, right? You can make you can make it a circle, you can make it a piece of wood if you want to, right? If you wish to. All what matters is that QR code and the passcode at the bottom. That's it. You can make anything out of it, really.
Yeah,
you can print it on your car, honestly.
Definitely.
I had one question. If I just real quick before I forget, on the app there's a button on there that says button bank transfer swap. Can you kind of explain that?
Yes. So back in when did we partner with Montpellier? In May or June, right?
Yes, that was summer, yes. Late spring, early summer. Yeah,
late spring, early summer. Yeah. So we partnered with one of the on-ramp, off-ramp providers. So now people are able to actually on-ramp and off-ramp money from our wallet. As simple.
Yeah. And I know one of the questions that I had at first when it came to on-ramp, off-ramp is, the usual difficulties with that one might face with centralized exchanges and things like that. For example, if you want to on-ramp or off-ramp, you have to provide KYC, and usually there's a pretty significant fee with that as well. And I had a conversation about this with Alex, and of course, KYC is still required, as with all on-ramp, off-ramp solutions. However, the good thing about Mount Pelerin is it's one of the most simple and seamless KYC processes, but then also I believe their fees were significantly less than all of the other providers that were communicated, or that were all the, like, a significant proportion of the providers out there for KYC. So that was the reason why we chose them. Plus, I believe Mount Pelerin, they're a very established blue chip Web 2 based provider in Switzerland.
Exactly. You literally just nailed my point. They're Swiss, and this is why the fees are relatively low. The KYC is good enough, right? It's not too complex, but it's definitely sufficient. It's definitely trustworthy, right? So, they look at, and I believe they support over 50, 60 currencies or 75. I can't remember the exact number. So, but they basically support like all of the major currencies, right? And obviously they also support the KYC for the majority of citizens of the world, if you can say so. So the Mount Pelerin is literally one of the best solutions, not just that we found it, one of the best solutions on the market out there. And the integration was similar as well. Integration was took us 2 weeks, simply because they already developed their own widget. Yeah.
They already developed their own widget. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that makes it significantly easier. Yeah. And I know the other provider for off-ramp, I believe, was AAA. And was it AAA who was affiliated with Circle? Can you remind me? I remember there was something pretty exciting about AAA as well.
The Circle was Ripple, no?
Ripple, yes.
Ripple was the Circle. Yeah. The AAA was the on-ramp off-ramp provider as well. And basically, we will also be having the AAA as another on-ramp off-ramp provider. But unlike Pelerin, which gadget we're using, for AAA, we'll have our own system of the on-ramp off-ramp, so it will make it much more easier. It does take some more time with AAA, once again, because we have to develop our own system. But once we adopt it, it becomes much more natural than going to some third-party websites whatsoever.
Right. So it all comes down to that seamless ease of use that is unavoidable at this stage of the game when it comes to on-ramp, off-ramp. But of course, it is still a hurdle that must be made, but it is the most simple, most efficient, most cost-efficient solution that is out there. So really exciting. Sin, does that? I know we kind of got off on a bit of a tangent there, but does that answer your question that you had for us?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so if I was to go into the bank, they have to have the app, but we could actually do a bank transfer swap right there. This is just, man, wow. That was one of my questions I was going to ask. One other question: you have a button on there that says migrate. Can you explain what that is?
So basically, let's say you have, vaults. I believe Vault is on the ERC20 network, correct?
Yeah, that's one of the chains, and we are looking at Solana. So that announcement was made. So
okay, let's say that. Well, not let's say, it's a fact. Vault is on the ERC20 at the moment. So we added the Vault support, which means that Vault can be migrated into the T12 network. So if let's say you were to send Vault on ERC20, you will always be paying the Ethereum. You'll be paying the gas fees in Ethereum, which are sometimes quite high, right?
Correct.
But on T12, the fees are much, much lower. And it's the best thing about the fees on T12 is that they are always predictable, right? Often, non-existent. So that's the migrate button. So you're basically migrating from that, native network into a T12 network. This is the migrate button.
Yeah. And that, just to kind of emphasize that a little bit on why that's so significant, is it's first things first, it's cost effective. So you're not spending $1, sometimes $5, what used to be up to like $20, $30, $40, $50 for a single transaction. It automatically unlocks those micro transactions. So let's say you wanted to go to your Starbucks and use Volt to buy a coffee. And a coffee, let's just say for simplicity's sake, I know Starbucks is a little bit more expensive here, but $1. But if you were to make that transaction on the ERC20 network, you would be basically paying another 100% of that price just for gas fees. If you migrated to T12, you can pay $1, and for the gas would be a fraction of a penny. Plus, that's where you could take advantage of the 3.5 million TPS as well. Let's just make that clear. So not only is the transaction instant, it's essentially free, and you're using the token that you're holding anyways. So yeah, that's a very, very good question.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I mean, that's like I said, that's why we have the different chains, because everybody was complaining about Ethereum gas fees are so expensive. So yeah, that's why we got on the some other chains that are a lot cheaper with the fees and stuff. So it makes very good sense.
100%. And the cool thing about that too, I remember when I was onboarded on Tectum and I was doing my own due diligence here, I was watching one of the old videos that the Tectum team had put onto the internet to kind of explain why this is so significant. And the cool thing about that migrate button is that you're not limited to Volt, you're not limited to stable coins, but you can do something like that with Bitcoin, where if you were to try and do that with Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network, you're going to be sitting there for 5 to 7 to 10 minutes waiting for the transaction to go through, and it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to buy a $1 coffee. Those micro transactions, from a practical use case in real world applications, that is kind of where the motto bringing crypto to the streets kind of derived from. You taking crypto and you're making it usable in the real world.
I can give you a direct example how it
please do.
So let's say you invested into Bitcoin quite a few years ago, right? So now you're a successful millionaire, whatever, and you decided to go on the trip around the world. So let's say you end up somewhere in South America. Let's say by some miracle they even accept crypto, right? And you want to pay with your Bitcoins. Now that's when the complication comes, because first of all, it's going to take, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour, or maybe even days, right? And then having to pay, 10x of the initial transaction is just, it's a nonsense, let's be honest, right? So this is when, the T12 network comes with those microtransactions. So, I have a printed out a note of 1,000 Satoshi, right? So that's like what, $10, I believe, right?
Yes.
$20, yeah. So
yes.
This is yeah, exactly. This is the main point about being able to use those micro transactions all around the world.
Very exciting here. So just to kind of take a quick pause here, I just want to reset the room. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trav. We have Dimitri and we have Sin with us here today, and we're discussing all things Volt and Tectum partnership. And we are almost out of time today. So real quick, I just wanted to make sure that we cover a couple of other things here. I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to share a call to action with the community. I want to answer one burning question that I see in our chat that I will pull up on stage here real quick here. And then I want to give you guys the opportunity to share any, last minute burning announcements that you want to share with the community here as well, besides the call to action. So maybe first things first, I saw this question right off the bat. When TCT? So I would be remiss if we wrapped up this conversation before giving some updates about TCT here. So Dimitri, do you feel like filling us in on what's going on with that? First of all, what is TCT?
TCT is basically a community token that we developed, Tectum Cash token. It's a community token. It works on the DAO model. It will allow DeFi loans, DeFi lending. So that kind of
borrowing,
right? Mm-hmm. So it's basically a complete Web3 token that, first of all, does not replace TED. because TED still remains the main, gas fee still remains the main engine of the entire system. But TCT is something that we decided to give community back because, Trav, it's quite obvious that people often, vote with their wallets, which means that, if you hold enough tokens and you are a whale, well, it means that if you, pull out, the company might crash out. So this is when the DAO model comes in of TCT, is that people will also will have a chance for democracy, if I can call it so. People will be able to actually vote with those TCT in significant questions, and moreover, people will be able to actually put propositions forward that they want to see within the company. So this is the community model of TCT. And answering when TCT. So first of all, the TCT is already available to buy in our wallet. And then second thing is that we are finalizing our deal with the launch pads, right? And it will come very soon. I believe it will come within October when we launch the launch pads. And then, obviously after the launch pads for a few weeks, we'll be moving to the sexes and dexes, of course. And, envisioning the second question, what's the marketing plan for TCT and TED? Well, first of all, every launchpad has a line of KOLs listed. So when we are paying the launchpads to get, listed, to get pushed forward, we're also paying for that marketing campaign of the launchpad, right? And we also will be having our own network of KOLs to push the idea of TED, TCT forward.
Very exciting. And I know that's every time that we do have a conversation about this token launch, that question comes up. So I'm really happy you were able to provide some insight onto that here. So just to kind of reiterate why TCT is something worth doing some due diligence on, just to really emphasize what Dimitri said here, this token is designed to give back to the community. One of the most, sorry, go ahead.
Staking.
There it is. That's what I was gonna say.
This is what I forgot. Staking, Trav. So guys, basically, obviously we understand that whenever a company launches a new token, people will be dumping, etc. So this is why we are also with TCT introducing the staking model as well. So people will be able to actually stake the TEDs instead of dumping, selling them for cheap. They'll be able to actually stake those TEDs and receive TCT as a reward in 3 months' time. I don't remember the
3, 6, and 12 months.
Yes, 3, 6, and 12 months. Yes.
And the returns increase significantly with each lock-in period as well. I believe that maxes at about 25 or 30% returns.
30%, I believe.
30% over the 12 months, which is substantial. And the other thing is, separate to that, is TCT holders also receive some of the profit share from the EPOS transactions that will be made, that are only acquired from the merchant and not the retail user here. I also want to emphasize that as well. So there's quite a positive feedback loop that can be achieved. By staking your TET, you're awarded TCT. By holding TCT, you're awarded profit share, and then you can use all of these tokens in the DeFi system, or the DeFi lending borrowing components that all of this will unlock as well. So when it came to deciding to launch a second token,
you're literally telling people hints how to make money out of thin air, honestly.
I mean, hey, I'm used to be a DeFi guy. I'm still a DeFi guy at heart here. So it's all about finding those DeFi strategies here. And we can't have this conversation without going. I hope that we can express this excitement to the rest of our community, that this is not just a cash grab. This is a incentive to reward and communicate appreciation to our community, who's been with us here for many years now, waiting for this comeback to happen. So yeah, that's TCT. It's coming soon. October's the month, and things are exciting here. So Sin, any questions that you might have that you can see your community that they may ask you about the TCT token by chance?
No, man, y'all do a good job of explaining it. So If they do, they can just come back and watch the AMA, man. You guys are on it.
Love it, man. Love it. Hey, and we're always here to answer any of your questions. And I'm just going to get ahead of myself here. If anyone does have any burning questions about Tectum, definitely make sure to join our Telegram server. The team is there 24/7 answering questions within moments of you guys asking them. So definitely make sure to check that out here. So we've been talking about Tectum here for a while. Sin, I want to send the mic your way for any final thoughts, any final updates, any final call to actions that you'd like to share with our community here. And we are pushing 700 viewers right now live on stream. And I appreciate every single one of you. So Sin, please take the mic away. It's all yours.
No, man, just letting people know a lot of things started back when Vote started, and they kind of went down to the wayside. But Vote is still here pushing. Like we have less than 60 trillion tokens out there now. We've already burned 30% of the supply. You got another mega burn coming this fourth quarter. This is not your average meme coin, and appreciate Tectum to letting. If you go to the app, we're the only meme coin on there right now. So we're the first. So that's bullish. But I will say this. There's something special about this token because, like I said, what did the developers say to NASDAQ to have us interviewed inside the building? Why would Binance put us on the article with XRP and some other big wigs? There's something special that we don't know, but the only way you're going to find out, you got to stay around to find out what everybody knows that we don't know.
I love it, Sin. And how can someone today, right now, find out more about Volt Inu? What's the best way for them to learn?
I ask that you go to the Volt Inu official page and click on the links on that page. Make sure you go to the direct page at Volt Inu official. There are a lot of tokens out there that's trying to mimic us, but just remember, few were created, but there was only one chosen. So make sure you're on the right vote.
Perfect. And just to double check, this is the correct one right here that I pulled up on screen?
That is correct.
All right, perfect.
Trav,
So,
one
go
last
ahead,
thing
Dimitri.
you can actually share on your screen. I've sent you in that marketing group chat, I've sent you the design of the Volt soft notes.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Let's pull
Yes, we
this
got
up
it.
right now.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to pull this up on screen as we speak here. Let's have a look.
This is definitely
Oh, that is nice here. Let's see if I can open this. I'll open this up in photos. There we go. All right. I think I'm on to something here. So you guys are about to see. Why don't you explain what I'm about to pop up here, Dimitri? Let's get people excited.
Well, apart from integrating the Volt token in our wallet, we've also managed to, well, pretty much finalize that, to integrate the Volt onto our soft notes. So people will be able to actually print out the Volts and pass it on to people off-chain if they want to.
There we go.
So this
There it
is
is.
the official announcement we'll be posting, and you can see
That's
there
bullish,
the
man.
design of the Volt soft note.
I love that. I love the colors. That purple and like greeny yellow is phenomenal. That's really cool. Oh, yeah, this is a point I wanted to make earlier here before we wrap up, is the significance of the actual paper bill. There's definitely, it evokes so much more of like an emotional reaction. I remember one of the streams I had with Alex, it was right before one of the token events. I think it was Token 2049 or something along those lines. And he had printed off a stack about this thick of all different types of denominations of, I think it was USDT, Bitcoin, and Ethereum soft note bills. And he'd asked if I've seen them before. I said, no, I haven't actually seen the bills before. So he walks off camera, comes back on, and then fans out a stack of printed off soft notes. And, you know, when you're trying to make someone excited about learning about crypto, like explain to them that each one of these is $10, $20, $100 worth of crypto, you know, I'm going to want to pay attention because I want to know like how that can be mine.
Exactly.
That's pretty
cool. Yeah.
So that's exactly what this is here. This is the official Volt soft note, which will be available to anyone who does, you know, download the soft note app into their phone. Is it available on desktop? Can you tell us that, Dimitri?
Of course.
Perfect. So yeah, on your cell phone, on
In
desktop.
fact, it will be first available on desktop and then mobiles because, well, Play Store, App Store, takes time.
Of course. Of course. And I remember when that was a big thing back in the day here. No longer. So there we go. Let's remove the screen share here. That's perfect. So were there any other updates or calls to action or anything else you wanted to share before I pass the mic over to Dimitri?
I can, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but we also got the referral program launched in our wallet.
Okay. Tell us about that, Dimitri.
Well, people are actually from now able to refer others into our wallet. And let's say if you referred someone and that person actually bought TCTs with TETs or whatever, you actually gain a percentage of that person. So this is the referral program. And then if that person also invited someone else, you also get a slightly less percentage of that third person, and it goes up to 5 or 6 levels. Can't remember honestly out of heart. So it goes up to 5 or 6 levels, and obviously, it may sound sketchy in a sense, but then it's just a referral program. You're not incentivizing people to actually buy TCTs, buy TEDs to earn something. No, you just refer them, and if people want to buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. So it's just a nice 100%. Way to it's just a nice way to invite more people into our wallet.
Incredible. No, that's really exciting. And so how can people get started with that? Just download the SoftNote app and get started?
The SoftNote app, yes. You open the is the web version first. So you basically open the web version, you go into the referral tabs, and you'll see both the URL link to invite a new user, or you can copy and paste that special referral code, and that user can input it there.
Perfect. That's really exciting. So if you guys want to take advantage of the referral program that has just been launched for the SoftNote wallet, definitely check out the web app, and you can get started right away. Sin, so glad to have you back here. The one last thing I wanted to ask you, Dimitri, is if you can just review the for the TCT launch. I know there were ways to get discounts on the actual TCT token. Do you want to just remind our viewers of how that works?
Absolutely, Trav. Absolutely. So guys, if you are looking to buy TCTs and you don't want to wait for launch pads, sexes, dexes, you can buy it already directly from our wallet. And also, if you buy it with TETs, you also get a 10% discount of that amount you're buying. So
perfect. So, and I believe right now, if you buy it off the SoftNote app, it is cheaper than it will be from the launch pads. Yes?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, this is the main idea of the of the app. Obviously, the vesting will be slightly longer, but it's completely reasonable. You don't have to wait for 2 years or whatever. No, it's completely reasonable. Just up to 6 months, I believe.
Yeah, or three months to 12. Oh no, this is the vesting period you're talking about. Okay, not the staking. Understood.
Not the staking, it's the vesting.
Perfect, gentlemen. This has been another, I was going to say fun and a blast and all of these different words at the same time. It's been a blast of a conversation, as per usual. I just want to thank you both for taking the time to hang out with me here today and to connect with our communities, to the Volt community, to the Tectum community. We truly appreciate you guys being here for us all along the way. We are two projects that have been building for years, and we are so excited to be able to deliver all of these, high-level updates to you guys today and over the next couple of months here as well here. So without further ado here, we're just going to wrap it up and stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be coming up very, very soon. And we appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you guys.
All right,
Take care.
Take care.